Hello everyone, my name is Taylor.
And I am Ray. And people were giving you shit talk on the last episode, Ray. Yes.
That's Peyton.
Yeah, no, I saw that. They were like, oh, it feels really rushed. And, I don't know if I want to shift the blame over to the game, but this is the part of the end of the game where they start to rush things along. Don't blame the game, Ray. You were subpar. I mean, I don't know. I didn't feel like I rushed. We definitely took, a couple extra days to do that.
Well, you can't win them all, Ray. You can't always be at the top of your game.
I was perhaps inordinately proud of 10 mangoes, the 10 mangoes joke. I don't know why I found that so funny, but I really like that joke.
Well, you would.
Anyway, today we're on pretty much the other boss battle. There's 2 boss battles, this is one of them. Kain vs. Raziel. The showdown that actually doesn't end the game, so, we're not rushing, guys, but they do sort of rush the end of the game here. 2 mighty immortals ragdoll each other back and forth across a room, yes. Yes, it is all the intensity we have ever desired. But no, seriously, the telekinesis is probably the safest way to attack either of them.
I feel like Kain has the advantage, because when he dodges, he turns into mist, which is a lot more effective than Raziel's backflips.
No, it totally is, but they can just chain attacks together because, they're not really designed to be a fighting game. It's designed to be a, one guy smashes all in his path game. Really, Raziel can't lose, yes. Because if we go by the last game, then he should fall into Spectral mode whenever he's defeated, and then come back and kill Kain, because time doesn't pass while you're in Spectral. Yeah, Kain is actually fighting an enemy he can never defeat.
It's really more about the pride, I assume, than it is about the potential victory.
Well, yeah, neither of them really have much to gain from this fight. That's the other thing, is that people were like, oh, it's this big climactic battle, why didn't you guys make it more dramatic somehow? And, really, I think in the original, Raziel just kind of flies off the handle.
Also, his eyes glow green, which I think implies that he's got the Hilden in his soul.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really, make anything of that, but yes. Can Raziel be controlled by the things that he eats? I think that's cheating, yes. Well, it's never happened before, but maybe these Hilden were prepared.
Well, he absorbed them when he ate Terrell, so they're like an STD.
Listen to that laugh. You never hear Raziel enjoy his work. Kain laughs all the time when he murders. He's a free spirit, yes. Now that Kain has slapped you upside your face, by Kain's law you must listen to him. The heart of Janos, Raziel, must remain unfound. Dude, you don't even know where it is, do you? That is why I said it must remain unfound, yes. Why do you not care? Because Kain could go back in time and ask the ancient race any time what their mysteries were, yes. But I want to talk to Janos now. I don't want to time travel anymore. Raziel! I'm so sick of time travel. I never know where I'm going. I could set the time travel machine for you, yes. No. Raziel, listen. No. Raziel, listen. Yes. Everyone is bound to the Wheel of Fate. You are the only one with free will. Well, I am exercising that free will to not go back in time and to just revive Janos right now. But Kain remembers you already did that, yes. And it was terrible. The results are terrible. What do you mean I have free will then if you already remember that I already did it? Well, you can choose not to do it now, yes. But if you remember I already did it, you'll forget that I did it if I don't do it. You're the only one who has free will. Raziel, stop arguing. No, look, I'm gonna stab you.
The legendary argument that led to the legendary confrontation.
Yeah, all this really could have been avoided. I mean, I think that it's implied that the Hilden are motivating Raziel to kill Kain. Although Raziel also says, I don't know, maybe it's the cathedral or whatever. I think he just wanted to kill Kain, yes. Yeah, I mean, that may be too.
Man, Kain is kinda just kicking your ass all over the place, isn't he?
Frickin' vampire lord with his telekinetic powers, his sword and his stabbing. Should've put your money on Kain, yes. Maybe just let Kain win. I think it forces me on a do-over if I let Kain win. Yeah, that's how Raziel works, yes.
I feel like part of the issue is that Kain can just instantly stand up. Like, he doesn't do an animation to get up. He's just standing and doing his attack.
Yeah, I mean, how do you retaliate against someone who just teleports into an attack frame like that?
If this were a fighting game, Kain would be totally broken. Everyone would be mad.
Nerf Kain. Kain OP. Kain could probably telekinetically throw you while he's laying flat on his back, yes. He just doesn't have the animation for it. I mean, realistically, it's up to him to give me an opening to stand up. He can run over to me in the time it takes for me to get up. Well, you should throw Kain while you're laying flat on your back, yes. I can't, I don't have an animation for it. Well, that's the drawback of being the player character, yes.
Apparently another drawback of being the player character is that Raziel's not laughing anymore.
Maybe Raziel just doesn't like being controlled. For once, he wasn't under the control of the player. That's what it is, Ray. He knows you suck at video games. My playing makes him sad. Yes, and that's why Kain laughs when I play as him, because he loves me. I don't know if Kain is actually capable of love. Well, not in the sense that he grows attachment to people, yes. But you could love blueberries. Or pancakes or something. Blueberry pancakes. With my last breath, I just want to tell you the most hurtful thing. Raziel, you did this to yourself. Let go of my arm. But then you'll stab Kain. Maybe you deserve to be stabbed. There. You see how quickly things go when I finally start doing stuff for myself, Kain. Day 1, Heart of Darkness found. With Kain now dead, I didn't feel quite the same level of accomplishment I'd hoped. Obviously, I'd done what everyone has been telling me to do from the beginning, even though I'd long ago discerned that it was not the best option. I could only hope that Janos didn't tell me my entire perceived destiny was to assist Kain. So was that death for Kain? Just poof into Orb of Light, yes? Well, this is kind of where I think, everything got rushed a little bit. I'm not sure what was planned necessarily, or if this was the plan. Vorador's mansion was now overrun with Mobius's soldiers. I hope they hadn't yet discovered Janos' crypt.
Well, how do you do there, Raziel? I understand congratulations are in order. You're sitting at the front row seat of the extermination of the vampire race.
I don't suppose Vorador got away, did he?
Of course not. It was never in the cards for him to escape.
Well, lucky you. And I suppose it's not in the cards for you to escape being killed by Kain.
Well, I suppose as the guardian of time, I should be pleased that everything is working smoothly. I can't say I'm bitter, especially not knowing that he finally gets his comeuppance.
Yeah, he did. Just like everybody. There really wasn't a winner in all of this, was there? What exactly did you accomplish, Mobius?
I don't feel like you're really on your way to ever understanding. But the important thing is, whether you're the vampire savior or the other one, you did precisely what we needed you to do. You had a choice, and you chose to do exactly what we wanted.
Do you ever worry that I did what you wanted as a punishment? Like a parent forcing their child to smoke cigarettes until they get sick?
Cute. Very cute. Well, in that case, I guess I'll get to enjoying what I want so much I get sick, and leave you to whatever it is you do now that it doesn't matter.
So minor detail, but we sort of got rid of this in our change in dialogue. In the original, Mobius implies that death doesn't really matter to him, like it's not significant. Bit of foreshadowing there.
Well, way to spoil for us, Ray. You can't just say it's foreshadowing. That ruins the foreshadowing.
Well, the game is starting to rush to the end, and so, this stuff is kind of not that important. Like, it comes up, and it's a good scene, but, it doesn't really matter. Well, thank goodness we're done with all the temples at least, yes. Yeah, we're pretty much done with the tedious stuff, for the most part. I mean, Vorador's mansion was kind of tedious too, but we're mostly just moving through it as quick as we can.
Yeah, I notice you're not stopping to fight with many people.
No, well, there's no reason to. There's nothing to gain, they just slow you down. It's the same problem we had in Soul Reaver 2, why battle anyone when you can run past them?
By now, Raziel has appeared at multiple points in history. He's run into dozens, if not hundreds of people. And if you go by the way that we play the game, it's all kinda similar. As long as you just don't try to corner him, he'll run right by you and not do anything. How is there not, a field guide on Raziel sightings?
Well, he must be like a thing of legend, like the Chupacabra or a Wendigo or whatever. Everyone has this image in their head of what a Raziel looks like. They expect him to be like this little imp or something like that, not a fully grown skeleton man.
I mean, I don't know, there should be just factual evidence of Raziel. Is there written records? Nobody writes anything down, I guess. It would all be oral.
There must be all kinds of folklore about Raziel that we just don't know about, yes. Like parents tell their kids, you have to eat your spaghettis, yes, or the Raziel will come in the night and steal your wisdom teeth. No, actually, it would work really well, because here's the other thing. I think Raziel is a really well-designed character, at least as far as recognizability goes. Definitely, you look at Raziel and you say, that's Raziel. Tattered wings, razor-sharp claws, glowing eyes, this scarf with this symbol on it. That is raw folklore material right there. People would remember that stuff, the most striking things about him, and they would spread it everywhere.
These soldiers, they have to see Raziel go by, and they're just shocked. They're like, I think I just saw the Raziel.
Oh my god, did someone not eat their spaghetti? Yes? No, don't be silly, that's just folklore. So is the Raziel, but there he was, yes.
I mean, I don't know. There's, creatures in Nosgoth, so maybe it's not too far-fetched that there really is a Raziel.
Yeah, but that makes it even scarier because, these things are really real. There's actually Wendigos and Chupacabras. There really is a time-traveling vampire zombie that just shows up and murders a completely unaccountable number of people, yes, and then vanishes into another time period. Yeah, I mean, like, all the monsters, people are like, yeah, the thing that lives over there in the woods. Like, it's actually a real thing. Raziel is actually a real thing. No one knows about him, yes. No one knows what his motives are. Why does he show up where he does, yes. That's gotta be the worst of it. Like, the Chupacabra eats goats, so, you understand that motivation. Just put a fence around your goats. But Raziel eats souls. Human souls. And like, he can travel into the spectral realm. Not that anyone understands that. As far as they're concerned, he just teleports. And he does it in different ways, depending on what time period you see him in. Sometimes he just bursts out of the ground wearing the corpse of your friend.
Man, it really is actually pretty horrific. Like, there should be a lot of legends about the Raziel.
Do you think there are legends about Kain? Yes? I don't know. I mean, like, vampires are a real thing, but there are legends about people, so yeah, probably.
Well, yeah, people don't know what all Kain can do, so they probably exaggerate and say, like, oh yes, Kain the vampire lord, he can turn into a frog.
He does turn into bats. And I think a wolf, but that was only in the first game.
How many one-of-a-kind monsters do you think there are in Nosgoth? Like creatures with no real line, that just exist, and have existed since the dawn of time, or since Kain made them, or whatever.
Well, each of Raziel's brothers is kind of like a unique entity, but that's only over a great length of time.
There's the Elder God.
Yeah, there's him. Also, in the original Blood Omen, there was, the Guardian of Dimension, who supposedly opened up a bunch of different dimensions and traveled to multiples. I don't know how many there actually are, because in the later games you really just kind of get like where the Hilden are sealed and then Nosgoth, and I guess the Spectral Realm is a place.
Well, those aren't unique enemies, though.
Well, no, but Azimuth, that was the name. So Azimuth, the Dimension Guardian, like, okay, she brought back Terrell, and I don't know why. I feel like it was kind of just shoehorned in there so that you'd get closure with Terrell. But she also summoned a bunch of demons, and she divided up Avernus into different dimensions, which is maybe significant to what happens with the whole battle with Kain, where he just poof, vanishes into Avernus. Yeah, that was really unclear, yes. Kain should have burst into flames, or turned into dust or something, yes. Well, sure, yes, if he were actually dead, he should have burst into flames, but...
Spoilers, Ray. Spoilers. Also, I still don't see what this has to do with unique enemies.
Well, what I'm saying is that if there's these other dimensions where, like, dangerous creatures live, then in theory, you could maybe pull some of them on occasion over into Nosgoth, and because there's only the one that ever got to this new dimension, if it lived long enough and it built up a reputation, then it would be some kind of unique monster. There's cool potential there. There's lots of cool potential throughout the entire universe, actually. That's why it's a neat game, yes. Yeah, the way that they just kind of build up on things. Like, I wonder how they did that. Did they have, like, a binder full of notes, and they just kept track of, like, this is who did this, and this is who did that? Or do you think they just had one continuous team that kind of knew what was going on the whole time?
Probably a little of column A and a little of column B, because you work on these games for a couple of years and you can't really remember every single detail off the top of your head.
I guess that would make sense, except for with the Blood Omen 2 guys, because they brought back Vorador, even though he's dead. And they also brought back the Seraphim. In fact, actually a thing that we should point out, that whole deal with the possession with Mortanius, that was a sort of retcon, kinda, that they included in this game to explain Blood Omen 2. See, in Blood Omen 2, they had this character called the Seraphim Lord, who defeated Kain and defeated Kain's armies, and was gonna open up the portal to the demon dimension, and then unleash all the demons on the world, I'm pretty sure. So what they decided happened was, basically the Hilden possessed somebody, or they came through the portal or whatever, and that's how the Hilden are tied to the whole thing with Blood Omen 2. Do they explain how Vorador came back to life? Yes? No? They never do explain that. Like, it doesn't come up in this game, so it doesn't come up at all. They've never had a sequel past Defiance, so that's just kind of looming over everyone's head.
And we'll probably never get the answer because the last time they used this intellectual property for anything, it wasn't with the original team, and it was to make Nosgoth, which was like a team shooter, which has closed its servers now because it didn't do so well.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't really a bad game, but it also wasn't really what the whole series was known for. Also, that little corpse back there behind the barrel, took me frickin' forever to find it on the first playthrough. I didn't know it was back there. See, this is why Raziel never laughs when you play as him, Ray. You're terrible at this game. I mean, the camera controls where I look, so if the camera doesn't look at the barrels, how am I supposed to know the body's back there? Well, you found it in the end, you big complainer, yes. Well, that I did, and speaking of the end, here is where we're gonna wrap it up for now. Thanks for playing with us, everybody, and also remember, if you really like our stuff, it's pretty difficult to make it on YouTube, so we really appreciate the help. If you want to support us on Patreon, or just share the video with your friends, or whatever it is that you can do, it's all great. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and you guys have a great day.